I've been playing Call of Duty Mobile for over 4 years now, and there has been an insane amount of seasons, which got me wondering, which gun do I think was the best of all time when it was on top of the game? Today we're gonna find out just that, and also use every single #1 weapon, giving them a rating nowadays, and also from their peak, so we can see where they stack up today versus all time. And first up is the AK-117.
This thing brings back major memories. Being good in both the beta of the game and Season 1, it was my first choice in my first ever Top Guns video. And to be honest, nowadays, it's not actually bad. Don't get me wrong, it's not one of the best guns in the game, but it's definitely respectable. I would use it for a little bit of fun. Gimme, 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 gimme. Terrible accuracy, ignore it. Where's my nuke? Where is it? Oh, yeah.
There it is. Unfortunately, its reign didn't last long.
The Type 25 was the best gun from Season 2 to Season 3. And I would say it's actually the first proper meta weapon. Got him. Got him. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. And Season 2 was the first time when the community wasn't split on what was the top dog in COD Mobile. And even though it packs a punch today, it's nothing compared to its former self.
Oh my gosh, bro, this is nuts.
Also, when compared to the AK-117 of nowadays, this thing really doesn't have a leg to stand on. And it doesn't matter what you put on it either. But both of them, you'd be better opting for something like Cordite. Whoa, okay, buddy. Yes, sir. Teammate spamming VTOLs. Why am I not surprised? But there's my nick. On to Season 4.
After about 2 seasons, we went into what would be known as the pay-to-win era.
Ah, the HBR. Now this is what I'm talking about. Reigning for 2 seasons, it was what felt like an entire era of COD Mobile. Yeah, why are you camping there, buddy? I mean, just throwback to when this was released for free for the first time.
Free HBR.
The excitement in the community was insane. That guy really likes camping with a sniper. Oh, and it's still amazing today. Goodbye. Where do you think you're going? Again? Camping at the back? One thing I gotta say though is, although I love this gun, I do not love this map.
Nuke acquired. When looking back, I was shocked to find out that the Cordite only lasted 1 season.
The Cordite's reign was a short but definitely sweet one. The hip fire on this thing is second only to the beta PDW sprays.
Don't let me do this to you. Oh no.
Yeah. And honestly, if you were to hop on today and play COD Mobile after not touching it for a long time, you'd still think it's pretty damn good. That's because it is. Especially with its large magazine, fast fire rate, and glorious time to kill. Look at that, bro. What a clip. Woo! So free, dude. Holy.
Cordite is one of my favorites. This is one of my personal favorites of all time.
Season 70 and 9 were dominated by a gun I think I can call mine. The DRH. If you didn't know, I actually have my own DRH skin called Ferg's Nuker. It was themed after me getting #1 on the leaderboards of Call of Duty Mobile. I know, it's hard to believe unless you were there to witness it, because I don't come across as a try-hard sweat that often unless you see me streaming. Stay down.
There's the nuke. I will always salute the DRH. I don't really want to salute this 3-shot, however.
I have fond memories with it. Oh! No! Go all 4, bro. There it is.
It was fun, but just didn't hit as good. The same as this.
Oh my.
And the worst of them all, in terms of ones I actually love, is the ASM-10.
It never was and probably never will be a king in my eyes. Sir. Ah. Destroyed.
So for year 1, here's the list of how they all stack up today in terms of how good they are. And here is how they stacked up all time. Basically, when they were at their peak power. When year 2 hit, I decided to troll the entire COD community by saying the Outlaw was the best weapon.
And we've made our way. This thing was one I was like semi-trolling about back in the day, but it is really good regardless. And was back then as well. I mean, just look at me go. This might be the only weapon on the list that is actually better now than it was when I placed it number 1. Wow. That buff did so much for this gun. Look at that. Unstoppable. This mid first season of year 2, exceptional. I mean, I already got my nuke, but I'm gonna keep going. Just because I'm curious how long I can last. Holy crap.
Oh, okay. With season 2 and 3 of year 2 being the Man of War, we went straight into season 4 with the new release.
Ah, the first new gun of the second year to get number 1 was this QXR right here. It was a breath of fresh air, simply because we'd been operating in an assault rifle meta for so long when it was released. Gotcha. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Is there?
Finish him.
I liked it, but it definitely wasn't overpowered.
This thing doesn't really shine in any particular category. So, nowadays, it's pretty mid. It is satisfying to listen to, though. Speaking of satisfying, there's my nuke. Bop.
After started an era of Holger.
The Holger has been on top in this game for too long. And in my opinion, it's definitely the best LMG.
Wait a minute!
Here are my official rankings.
Are you sure about that?
Okay, buddy. Give me my nuke.
An MX-9 dominance.
This SMG right here is a piece of art on its own. What are you doing? I could ask you the same question. Probably one of the best weapons in the game. And that's all I have for you because I already got the freaking nuke. Copy this loadout.
Both of these weapons, in fact, were so good, I couldn't pick which one I wanted number 1 or 2 up until season 10 when the Type 25 came back into action after a huge buff. But there was a dark horse on the cards for season 11. I personally loved this thing since it was first introduced, the SKS.
Goodbye. This thing right here, ladies and gentlemen, is just unbeatable at what it does best, which is slaying people out, broski. It's been on top since it was released. If you haven't used it yet, you're just doing yourself a disservice. Be kinder to yourself. Now, obviously, if you're not accurate, you're gonna get fried up quicker than an egg.
In fact, I thought it was so good that I decided to keep it off top 5 guns lists just because I didn't want people using it in rank, as I feared it might ruin the game entirely. But I gave up and just let everyone know about the sauce.
What are you doing? Give me my nuke, little goofball.
Surprisingly, that wraps up year 2. Here's where all of those guns sit today, and here's them added in to the best guns of all time list. However, now it's time for year 3, and this will change things up a lot.
Whoop! PSX was only the number 1 gun for a singular season, and when I think back to it, I honestly don't have much emotion towards it. Simply because it came and left so soon. But I will will say, I always loved the sound. Satisfying. Not dull, to say the least. I am smoking these players up. We like that one. Peek me. There it is. Straight off the bat. Oh, wow. We're still rushing. This team can't handle me. Could this be a little 100-0 action? 'Cause that's what it's looking like. Hey, you're dead. You go up here and kill your teammates. Now that's something. 150 to 0.
But Season 2's CBR has been on top for well over a year.
This thing right here has been in the top 3 guns for longer than the majority of players have been playing this game. Oh, Urban Trackers went AFK. It gets so much backlash because it should have been nerfed at least a year ago. This thing is way too good. And it has been for so long. Oh, come on. It just makes life so easy. I mean, come on, bro. Yep, and there's my nick. That was so fast. Let's call it in.
Many of you may have forgotten, but the MAC-10 was actually ludicrous when first released.
MAC-10 is on the complete opposite side of the spectrum. Ooh! In terms of how long it stayed meta for. And by meta, I mean #1. Here. Add another. Give me that. One more. Holy. He only reigned supreme for one singular season. God damn. Oh.
Mad skills, bro. Wow.
But what a freaking season it was. If you're new to the game and can see me slaying out with it, consider this the nerfed version of this weapon. I mean, saying that though, it is still pretty amazing. I don't think anyone would disagree. But would I use this in today's season? Abso-freaking-lutely.
Both of these came pretty much back to back. This thing was really good.
Finally, it's time for one of my favorite guns. And the mythic that came with it is positively one of the best ever released. And there's my nick. This is definitely usable today.
But the Kilo was better.
Yep. Goodbye. I will say that the M13 mythic is better. But the Kilo as an overall weapon is superior. Where's my nuclear? Aha! Finally. A superb weapon. You can still use this thing today.
A short stint was made in Season 7 by the KSP. This thing didn't have a long lifespan, but its peak was insane. You could one-burst people across the map.
This gun right here used to be not only the most dominant SMG, the most dominant gun, period. For all of about a couple weeks. Because as soon as COD Mobile realized what they had done with this one-burster, they nerfed it. Which was actually super surprising to me because they don't often nerf guns straight after release. They did my boy the KSP so dirty. Nowadays, what are you doing, default? Can't give my recommendation for it.
Because it's just awkward to actually use. Then Season 8 came around and we got the Switchblade, which was good, don't get me wrong, but I just felt there was a lot more dominant weapons when they were at the top than this.
This gun right here is one of the only released in the last couple of years that has an absolutely phenomenal iron sight for its default skin.
Wow.
Don't even get me talking about the mythic, because that's a jisser too. Got him. Uh-oh. Come up here and you die, buddy. Yes, sir. I love it. Since its release, and up until now, it has been a great SMG. Oh my god.
Bye! For the next few seasons, we were graced with the Krieg, which surprisingly did get nerfed, whereas the CBR has stayed pretty much the same its entire existence.
Krieg used to be the best, up until very recently. Oh, they're all getting slapped about. What the heck is that guy doing? Bro must be playing on his brother's account. You may be wondering, why am I using this skin and not the mythic? Well, to bring home a point of, if you don't have the mythic, you have to use this red dot in order for the gun to even become viable in the slightest. That combined with the insane amount of nerfs this thing has gotten over the past 3 updates, really makes it aggressively lackluster at best. Oh. But if you want to use it, here's the loadout.
So here's how all these year 3 weapons stack up today, and here's how they stack up all time. In year 4, we've had a lot of the same, Ferg 6, CBR, but I'd like to throw in the QQ9 here, because I believe it was right behind the Cordite in Season 6 of the first year, but to be honest, it probably could be sat in the same area as pretty much every other SMG right now. They're all really close.
If you aren't using it right now, you should definitely try it out. It's extremely versatile, obviously leaning more into the close ranges than not. In fact, I would compare it to an SMG version of the Kilo. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. There is my nick.
And right now, the Kilo's still on top. Here's the list of them all and where they rank nowadays. Subscribe if mobile gamers are real gamers.